the new people and our guests. My name's Alyssa. I am a health professional and an ASEA associate. Today we've come together to learn about this amazing new health technology and what this can do for your body, for your health, for your life, and for those around you. So we're going to listen from Stevie Aquilina. For those of you who don't know him, he is a beautiful, amazing leader, has a way with words and a great presentation. He's an amazing mentor and he's growing his business globally. So Stevie, we are so excited to have you come and actually share with us and teach us what this amazing health technology is and the benefits it has for our health and for our families and friends around us. So welcome, Stevie, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me here, Alyssa. It's always good to be here, and I really appreciate you and the great work you're doing. You know, as a health professional, as a health entrepreneur, and you know, the great work that you do with kids in that area as well, and also with the thousands of people that you're working with around the world. And you know, I know that bettering people's lives and being a force for good in the world is more than just a SEA's mission for you. You take it to heart, and so. Yeah, I love working shoulder to shoulder with you and getting out there. So everybody, thank you very much for having me here. It is my great pleasure. And I'll echo what Alyssa said. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're back again supporting us, then thank you. And I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. It was just over 5.5 years ago that I was first introduced to this. And since then, it's been high priority for me. Is someone sharing their screen or? Anyway.
No, he's done celebrity squares, mate. It's all good.
Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, so 5.5 years ago, it was high priority. You know, since this information was first handed to me, it became high priority for me to bring it to everybody's attention. And that is purely because the level of importance of this information is significantly high. Because the impact that it is having in people's lives is significantly deep. And so I'm filled with a sincere sense of responsibility to allow everyone to have access to it. And so it's my pleasure to give you access to it today for your sake and also for the sake of your loved ones. What I will be sharing with you now is nothing less than the single greatest, most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. The discoveries of DNA or the discovery of penicillin were huge medical discoveries, but medical science experts are saying that this breakthrough isn't just the next big one. I mean, it is big, but they're saying it goes even deeper than anything we've ever seen before. So that's what we'll be going over. It's an entirely new frontier, an exciting frontier in science. Now, for 2 decades, by the way, science had declared was impossible. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, validated, proven, clinically trialed, tested, studied by renowned universities, world-leading laboratories. A very advanced breakthrough, by the way, 15 years ahead of its time is what medical researchers are saying. And any health goals, any health challenges you could think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down. More about that a little later. But before I tell you what this is, let's get clear about what this is not. I'm not going to be talking with you about a drug. I'm not going to be talking about a vitamin, not a mineral, and not an antioxidant formula. I'm not talking about secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser lights, roots of magical 5,000-year-old trees, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of that other stuff. What I'll be talking about is an entirely new frontier in science, a truly groundbreaking, category-creating healthcare breakthrough, unlike anything you've ever seen or heard of before. It's called ASEA, cell signaling technology. It contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, they are the exact same cellular messages that are made natively in your body. And these molecules in your body are allowing your cells to signal. They're allowing cell-to-cell communication to happen. They are the cell-to-cell communicators, and they are affecting even all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. So here's just an example. Redox molecules will detect which of your cells are healthy and tell those cells to protect themselves. They detect which of your cells are unhealthy, and they tell those cells to repair themselves back to good health. And they detect which of your cells are too damaged to be repaired, and they tell those cells to die, and then tell a healthy cell to copy itself and replace that lost cell. That is how your body regenerates its own tissue. That is how your body heals itself. Redox molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. And basically, redox molecules are the precursor to everything in your body working. They're keeping your cells functioning and healing the way they should at optimal levels. And why is this important? We are all made entirely of cells, head to toe, inside out. There isn't a single part of you that is not made up of cells. And so we live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy life. So your redox biochemistry really is foundational to all cellular health and therefore all health in your body. And therefore is an essential function of normal physiology. In fact, a whole wide range of biochemical and physiological processes critically depend on redox signaling in and among your cells. Every single system and function of the body operates because redox signaling molecules are telling it how to operate. So in other words, if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making these redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. Now, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules, which is generally why our bodies work so well when we're young. However, with age, stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down, and our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules declines daily. And as such, our cells break down even more. And what else breaks down, therefore, is our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and so doesn't do any scientific studies themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. So ASEA redox users really do enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Now, ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect the genes that improve immune system health, that help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, that improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and that modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. So these genes are key, absolutely key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. On top of this, ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. More studies have proven that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Head professors of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they call disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now that is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress, and 95% of all adult conditions are degenerative. So it's kind of a big deal. Now, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Well, because they're already in you. Your body already makes redox signaling molecules, but your body just can't make as much of them anymore like it did when it was younger. So any health goal, if you have health challenges, if you have loved ones that you're trying to help who have health challenges, if you have a wish to look, live, and feel young again, if you have the sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in sport, bigger, stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. Let's hear what some medical doctors have.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
All right, so now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28 Revitalizing Redox Gel, and Renew Advance Intensive Redox Serum, supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser, and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture speaks 1,000 words. So let's let some of these pictures do the talking for a little bit. This is more than anti-aging results. You're very much going to see age reversal results. You're going to see lines disappearing, wrinkles being ironed out, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammation, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate situations with the skin being brought back to the proper surfaces, levels of the skin. This is Rosie, and believe it or not, have a look at those first two photos on the left-hand side. Rosie didn't believe that the products were doing anything. She didn't think that ASEA was working. It was her doctor that took these photos. So that's the first moral of the story here. Take photos. When you get back with your friend or your family member, whoever's introducing you to this, and you say, yeah, I want to try this and see how it goes, take photos. That's how you see how it goes. Write down an inventory of your health from the inside where you can't take photos. Keep a score of everything. That's how you see how it goes. Mark yourself up to your 7th day, 30th day, 60th day, 90th day. That's how you see how it goes. The other moral of the story is that some people notice results quite quickly, like Rosie. Look at the results there after just 7 weeks. However, other people need to apply a little bit more product and a little bit more patience before they're able to see the change. Now, we know scientifically that ASEA is working immediately in the body. We know that it would be scientifically impossible for redox sealing molecules to not work in or on you. But what we also know, what does differ from person to person, it works every time on every single person, but what does differ is the time it takes them to notice the change. This is Dr. Marty Moran. He decided to do a scientific experiment on his own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? I'll give you some clues. Look at the lines running down either corner of the mouth, or the lines running down either side of the nose, the maybe more bagginess, sagginess, more lines on one cheek as opposed to the other. Here's the biggest clue of all. Have a look at how the glasses are slanting to one side, maybe suggesting more droopiness on one side as opposed to the other. So that's where he did use it versus where he did not. Thank you, Dr. Marty Moran, for walking around like a weirdo, just so you could prove to us all where Renew 28 works, where you put it, versus where it doesn't, where you don't. Now, it's not just for your face, arms, hands, bellies. These are stretch marks here. And bums. There were a lot of reports coming in all around the world about how people were using Renew 28 where they had cellulite and it was disappearing. And so this very large scientific organization did a study, and they found after 12 weeks that the appearance of the cellulite was actually reducing. And so when they did ultrasounds to find out what was going on, they saw the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually dissolving after just 12 weeks of using Renew 28. It is a historical truth that with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And what is being shared with you is truly the most significant, the greatest health and life science breakthrough, maybe not just of our lifetime, potentially of many lifetimes still to come. And Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research, since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in '98 for the first discovery of redox sealing molecules. There have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 30,000 results. It's a very difficult slide for me to keep up with. It's already out of date. There are more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. Over 1,500 medical textbooks have been written, authored, published on redox sealing molecules, and they have their own medical health journal, Antioxidants and Redox Signaling. Now, medical researchers, medical experts are saying that redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And I'll give you an example of that. There's now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox. with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. So the race really is on with medical and pharmaceutical industries. They're trying to understand the complex paths and functions of redox signaling. They're also trying to earn recognition for discoveries, and they're trying to create drugs for specific health conditions. However, they face a very long and very slow process, while ASEA is already light years ahead for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. That means no competition because there's no copycats. That means no one else in the world has what ASEA has. No product in the world can do or work or get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA's redox can. No one has what ASEA has, no one. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities really across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, athleticism, human performance, sports science, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And ASEA works through all of them. ASEA redox works on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well or at all without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody absolutely needs redox. And ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from. ASEA really is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We just want to help a lot of people, and we can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. And ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing redox with others. So you receive a residual income, not only from the first purchase made by everyone you refer, but also from every single ongoing purchase order that they make. So you receive also a residual income, not only from the ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer, but every single person that is introduced through your introductions, you receive a payment for. So let me give you an example. Just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, whatever, right? People tell people stuff, who naturally tell other people, who then tell even more people. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest, the most ancient, but most importantly, the most powerful form of marketing still in the world today. Nothing beats it. Not TV, not radio, not newspaper. Social media is built on word of mouth recommendation. And there's no limits, especially with how connected the world is in today's age, not just with the telephone, but with social media. Word spreads very quickly and it spreads worldwide. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries. We're opening up new markets almost every single year. Based on the existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million over the next 5 years. And so, you know, I've learnt for a while and said for a while that there's nothing wrong with having a job, but only relying on a single source of active income, meaning you have to actively turn up and do stuff to get it. It's just not smart, and it is dangerous to your financial security. And I'm not trying to play on any unfortunate situations that have happened today, but the truth is that has become, most relevant now. It was always relevant, but it's been put right into our face sooner rather than later. I think a lot of people think that, you know, securing income is something they don't have to worry about till later in life. It's now. It's here. It's right here, right now. It always has been. It's just more relevant now because of the circumstances. So I hope nobody has been put out of income. But for anybody who is looking for a supplementary income, or heavens forbid, they are requiring now a complete replacement of their income. But for anyone who's just looking for an extra or part-time, or maybe is looking for a full-time or big time, or maybe even a legacy leaving income for loved ones. Whatever your ambition level, there is a commission level for you here at ASEA for business-minded people. This is a very real opportunity, a very significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income, an ongoing income that is not completely dependent on your activity alone. And you can piggyback on the growth of this global expansion to get there. Now, the truth is, really, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's exactly what you get to do and be a part of with ASEA. Because you get to join forces with others who are also being a force for good in the world. Really, who you become and what you do is the biggest reward, over and above any riches it will make you. However, not only can you make great money, you can also be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. Have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, and a great lifestyle. So why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And maybe you are, because there are now hundreds of doctors all over the world now recommending Redox to their patients and seeing unprecedented results. But the truth is, you weren't supposed to hear about this technology this way. The truth is, big pharmaceutical companies, after seeing tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, well, they did offer to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA technology. And the intention of the owners was for this to be brought out through the medical field. However, those big drug companies, they wanted ASEA to shut down and to take everyone off Redox. Thankfully, founders of ASEA, Virtus Norden and Tyler Norden, father and son, they said no to the payout and yes to the people. Yes to you. Because after Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless to now experiencing life-changing power from redox healing molecules, well, Virtus and Tyler were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility from this, to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so what had started as a big business play had now become an important and purposeful mission, and it had become more. You know, the ASEA founders, Virtus and Tyler, they turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to you and everyone without a prescription. And so as demonstrated in this very first important decision, ASEA always puts people and principles before ego and economics. You know, the ASEA founders and the corporate team, they come from Fortune 500 backgrounds and even greater than that. And so they are exceptionally experienced in running big and very profitable businesses. However, they will never do it at the cost of people. They pride themselves on that, and you are in very good hands. So get back with the person who shared this with you. Don't worry what the time is. They'll be glad to hear from you. Let them know what you've seen here today. Let them know what you like best about it. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers. There's plenty of university studies, but here's the most important part. This is what gives the word breakthrough an exclamation mark. There are hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see that ASEA is truly the real deal. Now, we truly want to help you. So at the very least, we hope you'll become a part of this redox reality. We want to see you live better, healthier, younger, stronger, longer. But I've got to say, one of ASEA's first and foremost guiding principles is to become more, because it's really what you become that determines what you can overcome, that ultimately determines your income in life. So if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you'll only pass this information on for many, many others, either an invite to this webinar or a recording of it, you can better the lives of many, many others just by sharing this. And your life will become better too. If you decide to become part of being a force for good in the world with ASEA, with us, your life will be filled with more good. And so I want to thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well and safe and secure. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Thank you very much for having me here, Alyssa. I'll hand back to you.
Stevie, amazing. And isn't that why we're here? To help others. I love that what we do, we really do actually change people's lives. You know, I've been a therapist for, I don't know how many years now, 17, nearly 19. And being able to help people's lives with even more so with this health technology is just unbelievable. And we've got such a privilege on our hands. So just as you are, Stevie, I'm passionate about making sure we're getting this out there. It's what we need to do. So I hope you guys all learned something new today and are passionate and excited to hear what we have and the opportunity that is here for your own health, but also for others in your life. We're going to hear now from Dan, who has an amazing story. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. He's quite famous in the SE little world, big world. He has changed thousands and thousands of people's lives because he has had an amazing breakthrough with his health and also with his wealth. So Dan, we would love to hear your story, as I know that it encourages and inspires so many people. So thanks for sharing your story and your passion for making sure we help as many as we can.
Thank you, Alyssa. You can hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for your incredible leadership and hosting of this call. Stevie, you do an incredible job doing the heavy lifting on these presentations. So thanks, mate, for that. Really appreciate it. I'm sure that you are starting to see the enormity of this breakthrough. So just to reiterate before I go into my personal story from no health back to health, Stevie said the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But what I can say with long-term use of these products and sometimes even short-term use, ASEA is a cure for skepticism. For our guests on this call, I just want you guys to relax, to unfold your arms and legs. We're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to convince you of anything. I believe that what we are talking about, what we have here, this incredible breakthrough, is a gift. One of the most precious gifts that we could receive, one of the most precious gifts that we could give anybody. So without further ado, this is all about us creating and telling stories, real stories, true stories. And mine's one of many, many, many thousands. And it's a high impact story, but it's not the best. There's so many people who have got incredible testimonials from using these products. And as Stevie said, people are looking at this for many reasons, and some of them are for their health and some of them are for the health of their loved ones. And that's what I was doing and what I was looking at initially. But over time, it became a responsibility to start sharing this with other people, and that's what I did. And thank goodness I did that as well, because not only with this incredible breakthrough, I had my health return, but it also got us back on track financially. So I'm going to take you on a journey back to Sydney, Australia, where I used to play a lot of sports. And as a diversion, a distraction from school and doing homework, because it's something that I didn't like doing, I played many sports and excelled at many sports, including this sport called bodybuilding. And back then I owned my own gym. This was the start of me being a young entrepreneur in my early 20s, and had many, many businesses I built over the first few years of my entrepreneur time in the health and fitness industry. If I fast forward over the next 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses, and I kept going to the gym, but obviously not a bodybuilder anymore. From the age 24 to the age 44, I was just doing cardiovascular work in the gym every morning, 6:30, just on a stepper treadmill, on a stationary bike, just trying to keep fit and healthy and doing some light weights. But my goal was to be the best version of a 50-year-old that I could be leading up to into my 50s. So it was I suppose in this condition, if I wasn't in this condition, I had a little bit of weight on me, I would have been in a very serious situation, because 6 months later, I found a little lump underneath my left rib. And if I had any weight on me, I wouldn't have found that lump. And that lump was a situation where my doctors at the time told me I had not one, but two major health challenges. So this was the start of my journey going in and out of a hospital in Sydney, Australia for 2.5 years. And what I went through with losing my hair from the top of my head to my toes and everything they'd put me through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, next to me. He played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. And Fortunately, initially with Johnny, he went through the same thing that I went through. He had what you would call, or the doctors would call, the good one, and I had two of the bad ones. He went into remission by the time we got to this stage. He went back into playing the highest levels of rugby league, and he was 21 years old in this photo. After this photo, his issue came back, went back into hospital, and went through everything that I went through, or was going through when I started my hospital visits in this photo. Unfortunately, he never came back out, and we lost him at the age of 23 years old. So what we had was very, very serious. When I finished what I went through in that hospital, the first lot of it anyway, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And I made a decision at that point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And I did some research. So I've gone from traditional to alternative, functional, something that I never believed in, because I thought my doctors were going to do the job for me and I was going to be okay, but that wasn't going to be the case. So I'm looking for something myself. So I moved to the natural way of doing things. I went onto an alkaline diet. I spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements from other network marketing companies, which it was a hard pill to swallow, because coming from traditional business, if anybody came to me with Amway or this way or that way, I'd definitely be running the other way. And I found myself spending a lot of money with a company called Zengo, Isogenics, Kangen Water, LifeVantage, Max Products. All these companies had great products at the time, and I thought I was doing the right thing. I was just on this incredible clean diet, but this is a picture of me 2 years later doing everything that I could do, and you can tell from this photo my health was still heading in the wrong direction. I was still in a lot of trouble, and this photo was taken in October 2014. The end of 2014, a friend of mine called Bart Cotter. He said, "I think I found something that can help you." And long story short, I flew to Salt Lake City. I met him in the company headquarters of the company called ASEA, which, as you know now, is a cellular health company. We listened to Dr. Gary Samuelson, who Stevie mentioned, one of only 5 atomic medical physicists in the world, who came up with this breakthrough. And I didn't understand anything that he was saying, nothing at all. He was talking about the mitochondria, he was talking about redox, everything was going over my head. The thing that I did understand was what he said was that this product, this bottle, this blue bottle sitting on the boardroom table, was 100% non-toxic, and it could have health benefits. So we were drinking it. I went back to the hotel room to have a shower, freshen up, and to get dressed to go meet the executives, to meet Dr. Gary Samuelson and the founders of the company. And when I took my shirt off, I was covered in little red spots. My upper torso I was going through a detox. Toxins coming out so fast, it was coming out of my skin. The next morning, now I had a caffeine intolerance for 20 years. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm in a lot of trouble. I had 6 coffees the next morning. There was nothing to remind me of what I endured for 20 years. That problem was gone. The next day is when the light bulb went on. I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital. I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. But within that short 48, 72 hours, my lungs were functioning perfect. So I went back to Australia, and obviously I kept drinking the product. We were getting it in, double shipping from the US, costing an absolute fortune because it wasn't approved in Australia. The sad thing was, coming from being very financially well off with traditional business to losing everything financially when I lost my health, we could only afford for me to buy 1 bottle per week, knowing that I needed at least 1 bottle per day for what I was going through. And I persisted on 1 bottle per week for around about 8 months. And my 3 monthly checkups, my blood works with my specialist, everything was improving every 3 months. He was scratching his head. And halfway through 2015, and thank God for the business model behind this breakthrough, I started sharing this with people because it became a responsibility to do that. I was getting benefits. Why would I keep that to myself? And when I was sharing it with people, they were getting benefits, and the company would send me thank you checks. And those thank you checks, those commissions, I invested back into my own health. I started taking a lot more product. By December 2015, just over 1 year after this photo, the doctors gave me some very good news and told me that there was no sign of these two major health challenges. And this is a photo on that day. I was a happy boy, yes, very, very happy. The thing that really blew me away, apart from that news, was multiple injuries from playing sports, which was turning into that debilitating issue that people normally have with their joints and muscles as we get older. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose, all sorts of issues. I had a list of issues. My body in my 40s was just so broken down from everything that I did to it. But by this stage, just over 1 year on the product, my whole body was rebuilt and all these issues had gone away. Now, fast forward another 2 years and you can see the anti-aging side of what this product can do. And I always like to go back. This photo, October 2014, my skin, the way I looked, was a reflection of what was happening on the inside. This photo here, December 2015, just over 1 year on the product, the way I looked, the way I felt, it was all a reflection of what these molecules were doing on the inside. And then 3 years on the product, you can see that looking younger and feeling much, much better again, this is a reflection of what these molecules were doing on the inside. So come back to me with, and I've been nearly 6 years on the product now. So in October this year, it's been 6 years since I've been taking ASEA. Incredible that at nearly 53 years old, I feel fitter than I've ever been. I think I look better than I've ever looked. Just amazing what this is doing as time goes on. That was my journey back from no health to health. The business side, the opportunity has been nothing less than overwhelming. I could never dream or imagine the position that we would be in now, coming from no health 6 years ago and no money to building this business. And you know, it's just a matter of helping people and sharing this with people, and that's all we've done. And that helping people has been a reflection of, that reflection comes back to the financial benefits that we get from actually sharing it. So it's been an incredible journey. I would say that this is the most compelling opportunity that I have ever seen in my life, coming from a traditional businessman, for many reasons. The founders of the company coming from running big organizations here in the US, our field leadership and executives, the experience that they have, the breakthrough, obviously. The compensation plan would be the most lucrative and generous that I have ever seen. And I always say, for anybody to bring to me a compensation plan, and I can tell you that no one's ever been able to match it. But the big thing, the ethos of the company, their principles and values, their integrity and intention to get this to every single person that they can, every single person on the planet, because we all need it, including animals and plants, to live, thrive and survive. So we've got, I suppose just to wrap up, you've got the owners and founders that have left this technology, this breakthrough, as their legacy to humanity. I've finally found something myself to be able to do the same. I've always been looking to leave a legacy through traditional business. Never been able to do that, but I'm doing it now with this incredible opportunity. You see, these supplements that we have, there's no other supplements in the world that could do, that can touch, that can match, that can compare, that can compete with what this can do for us. So without having that competition, and don't get me wrong, we need to eat, we need nutrition, but this is something well and truly way beyond that. As Stevie explained, these molecules are the body's weapon of choice. If you want a weapon of choice, it's redox signaling molecules. And in saying that, this has made this business, ASEA, this opportunity, the most compelling that I have ever seen, and I believe that you will ever see in your lifetime. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Alyssa to make a few closing comments, and then we'll stop the recording and open up for Q&A.
Wow, Dan, I say it every week, but your story never ceases to amaze. I hear it so many times and it's always so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that and your passion for sharing this. I know because of you and your story, we are actually all here. So thank you so much for your dedication to helping change the world. Guys, if you have enjoyed the presentation and have learned something, I really encourage you to go back to the person that invited you to come along and learn today. We're going to open it up for some questions, but definitely go back to the person that invited you here so they can coach you, teach you, and help you on your redox journey. So if anyone has any questions, you can either unmute yourself, Stevie, Dan,